Hi, this is Sherry. I'm coming at you from my patio in my snuggly wug sweatshirt, no makeup, just out of the bathtub. This is just one of those, gotta be me, you know? I look like I'm 12 years old, no makeup, and that's okay. I don't care. I thought, you probably didn't think I was gonna do this, but I am. And I came out here and I thought, it's beautiful right now. It's not cold. It was cold today. I wasn't gonna go up to the mountains. I've had a headache all day long, and it's funny, I told everybody, oh, I don't know, I'm not having a hard time with this full moon at all. Because I was a day early, and then when the full moon actually hit, I was up all night, and headache all day, and, it's, I'm Aries in a Pisces moon, so the moon always gets me. It's funny, I thought, wow, first full moon, and I just felt fantastic, full of energy, and boom. So I know a lot of people are going through a lot of this right now. I've been getting a lot of emails, and I just had to take a day, I don't think the moon's up yet so I can show you guys, but I thought this was pretty, We've got our dragonfly dreams right here, reminding you to hold on to your dreams. Your dreams are sound and valid. You deserve to see them fulfilled. Pay attention to your dreams, especially right now in this full moon energy. There's a lot of messages coming through. You might have really wild dreams, psychedelic, technicolor. Mine were. I had colored flying horses and people being assassinated, and so many strange dreams that were going on all night long. And I was probably watching somebody play a video game, although I don't know, it was weird. But anyway, when you can't figure out your dreams, just let them go. I wrote down what I saw, and then I just thought, if there's something that Spirit wants me to know, they'll bring them back. Bring it back to me. So I'm just gonna do our reading by candlelight. I don't know. Remember, I had the whole Day of the Dead keeps coming to me, so here we are. That's what I feel like. So today we're going to work with the angels, gods, and goddesses. And I can put the cards right there and you can see them. You don't need to see me, You saw this beauty out here, and if we hear any messengers, I'll let you know what they are. Who knows who will come up at night. But I'm going to do this the way I do my live feeds. So I'm going to put this down. And I'm going to see what messages Spirit wants to speak to us about. And this deck, Angels, Gods, and Goddesses. I heard this the other night, and I haven't used it for a while. So I'm going to ask, because people have asked me, we would like to know what is going to be happening on Monday and Tuesday. That's the first message. And then we would like to know Wednesday, Thursday. And then we would like to know Friday, Saturday. And then we would just like a general message. And of what's to come. Whoops, sorry. From what's to come in the month. Upcoming month. Well, our first god, well it is actually. It's a goddess actually. Fell down on the ground. And it's funny because I know other readers don't like cards that fall on the ground. I don't know. They think it's negative. I don't. I think it's fell down because I was supposed to notice it. So let me set this up in a way that you can see the card and the message. All right. So the first message we have, it's a goddess. And what she's telling you is you are being encouraged to take a leading role in your current situation. So, and I'm going slow today. I'm quiet. I'm like I said, I don't have a lot of energy. But this is important to me. And I'm going to be very busy tomorrow, and I know that I won't be able to take the time to do it tomorrow. So bear with me when I sound like I'm falling asleep. I'm not. I'm just really, really tired. So, let's take a look at her. I guess I shouldn't have had such red candles, although, there, maybe that's a little better. Can you guys see her? So, she's got a veil across her face. She's got esoteric symbols on her forehead. She's got a yellow rose in front of her. And you're being encouraged to take a leading role in this current situation. What is this situation for you? In regards to a project that you're working on, in regards to a family situation that you're involved in, or a situation with a friend, whatever it is, whatever this situation is in your life, they're asking you to step in. And maybe you feel uncomfortable doing that. Maybe you're wondering if you're going to be viewed upon as somebody who's bossy, or somebody who's butting in, or, you know, who knows what you may feel about what's being asked of you. But you are being asked to do it. Spirit's asking you to do it. So even if you do feel uncomfortable, don't worry about it. Because regardless of whatever even your own feelings might be, the current situation needs your leadership and direction. It needs somebody's leadership and direction, right? And sometimes, you know, being... The word that they use is democratic, you know, trying to please too many people, you know, but being a people pleaser sometimes just doesn't work, you know. And if you look at everything really honestly, everybody has their opinion about how things should be done, right? Everybody looks at everything from a different perspective based on how they've lived their life, what they've gone through. We all have a different way of looking at things, and it doesn't even matter about who's right, who's wrong. No one's saying that your way is the right way and the other person's is the wrong way. It's just that right now somebody needs to do something, because nobody's doing anything. So it's better to steer the ship somewhere than have it just maybe crash up on the rocks, because nobody's taking control, right? The wind's going to blow it wherever. Sometimes the wind blows it in the right direction, but sometimes it doesn't. And do you really want to leave whatever this is in your life up to chance? Spirit's asking you to step in and have a little bit of courage, maybe a lot of courage, you know, to take the control and ask the universe to guide you as to how to do that. You can guide and take the lead lovingly, you know, you can be strong and loving at the same time. As long as you're coming from a place of love and your intention is that everything works out in everyone's highest good, how can you go wrong? You know, you're not going to go wrong. Your intention is to help. Your intention is to get things moving. So take it into your hands. Spirit is advising you to take it into your hands. Don't just wait for somebody to do something, because they're not. It's kind of like I don't know, it's like me out on the lake. I'm on my canoe, you know, and the wind starts to come, and I could just pull my oars in and see where it takes me, but it generally blows me across the other side of the lake, and then I have twice as long and twice as much work and effort to get back to the side of the lake I need to be on if I had just, you know, taken control of it when things started to go sideways. So when you see things going in the wrong direction, or they're just not going in the direction, step in. You know, I think about the wolf pack. That's why I like the wolves, because there is no hierarchy. There is no specific leader. Sometimes the male is the leader, sometimes the female is the leader. They work as a team, you know, and sometimes it's the ones that are making all the decisions and doing the work all the time, the ones that you look to, maybe they're just tired. Like me, I'm just tired right now. I'm tired of being the strong one. I'm tired of, you know, I'm just tired. And so maybe in your life, that's the situation. A lot of times people don't think about the ones that are strong and the ones that always seem to be there and take care of things, because they don't ask for help. And people get used to them doing all the work, all the decision making, or, you know, they think that you can handle it because you do it all the time, you never complain. But everybody gets tired. And maybe that's what's going on right now. Maybe somebody in your situation is just tired. And they really would really appreciate, you know, because it isn't about ego, right? There is no ego in spirit. It's about love. So when you come from an unconditionally loving place, you can take the lead, and it's not insulting. It's not, it doesn't grate on someone else's nerves. It's like a relief. It's like a welcome relief. It's like you're a port in a storm, you know, come here. Just take a load off. You know, no one expects you to be the superhero. It happens a lot with strong women and definitely with men. You know, men are supposed to be the strong ones. They're supposed to be the ones that have it together. And when they just don't have that feeling, when they're just tired, overwhelmed, and just don't have the answers, they're embarrassed to come forward and say, I don't know what to do. You know, I don't have the answers. I just really need a place to just lay my head right now. Could I have a hug? Could I just maybe have you sit next to me in quiet? I don't need any answers. Maybe I just need a little bit of, to know that there's a port in a storm, right? Or maybe you do need to take the lead. And maybe you need to step in because you are the strong one right now. And it's okay if you are. You've got the equipment right now to handle it, right? And Spirit's asking you to do it. I keep looking at her eyes. You know what's interesting about her eyes? No matter where you go, they follow you. You're being watched. All eyes are on you, is what you're being paid attention to. So step into your role. Those eyes are looking at you. To me, I get so many messages looking at her face. I can see tears and sadness. I can see, I'm afraid to tell you, but I don't know what to do. I can see, I have no idea. I can see the opposite, right? If I tell you what I'm thinking, will you think I'm arrogant? Will you think I'm being a bully? If I step in and take control, will you let me? Will you understand that I'm trying to help? There's a flame going up. Whatever it is, you know what it is in this situation. If you're the one, clearly you are the one that's being asked to step up right now. So this message is speaking to you. You'll know the messages that are for you. They'll be loud. Correct for neutrality on all levels. That was for Monday, Tuesday. This is for Wednesday, Thursday. I'm listening to Heart right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Crazy on you. Let me go crazy on you. Now they're turning it up for us. How funny. All right, our next message. Goddess of the Unknown. So, this is kind of where a lot of us are at right now. This is for Wednesday, Thursday. A new chapter of your life is around the corner. They're asking you to remove fear and embrace the unknown. Someone's cloaked, someone's in the shadows. It's bright blue eyes, though. They're very, very alert and very connected. Look at the stars all around this one's cloak. And the third eye is lit up. And the light flashing from their eyes, emanating from their eyes. I trust those eyes. When it's dark, see, there's no stars right now, not yet. They're coming. But when it's really, really dark, look at those stars, how they light up. And they only come out at night. You see things in the dark. Only the things in the darkness are you able to see the light that comes from the stars, right? So this is about the unknown. This is you going into the unknown and not knowing maybe what's around the corner. And Spirit wants you to erase the fear, ease the fear. They're here to ease the fear. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You don't know, like the first person. You don't know what's happening or where you're going, but you're being urged by Spirit to trust. You're on the right path. You're always on the right path. Even if you go off skew a little bit, there's always a lesson, right? So there's never the wrong way to go. Not when you connect with your intuition. Recently in your life, a major part of your life has closed. A chapter in your life has ended. It could have been a relationship that ended. It could have been a job that ended. It could have just been part in your spiritual path that you've, come through a very challenging time. Whatever it is for you, it was a major chapter, and it's ended recently. Well, right now it's coming to a close. But after the full moon, it's like, that's when you let go of everything from the past and Let go of anything that was holding you back, right? Let go of what was weighing you down. And it's about a new, exciting chapter that's starting now. That's what Spirit's saying. A new and exciting chapter is about to begin. And even though you feel this, maybe this emptiness of this not knowing, there's already light. Things are already starting to grow. And soon you're going to see the light. It's going to be shining bright. It's kind of like right now. You know, you look up right now and I don't see any stars in the sky. Mostly because this is bright, right? Now, if I was in Sedona, you walk away from the light. There's a lot of white light pollution here. But in Sedona, it's like when it's really, really black outside, then you can see the bright, bright stars. We got a little bit of cloud coverage, not a lot, but sometimes things have to get really, really dark and quiet. And all the background gets obliterated, right? You don't see it. It's kind of like when I said when I come outside and all of a sudden there's a big world out there, you know, you look up to the stars and don't look down. Don't look at the houses around you. Don't look at the stuff around you. Don't look at your bills. Don't look at, where am I moving? Am I going to sell this car, keep that car? Forget all that. Look up right now to Spirit. Look up to Spirit in the sky. And you can start seeing the lights twinkle. Can you see them twinkling? As soon as your eyes start getting used to looking up into the darkness, you start noticing there's a bright spot there, there's a bright spot there. So look into the darkness. Commune with Spirit. Listen. Pay attention. Look up and realize that that is Spirit looking down on us. We are protected. We are guided. And we are very loved. No matter what we think in our head. And you know what? A lot of times at night, it's really scary. It was for me when I woke up in the middle of the night the other night, realizing that what I thought was going to happen wasn't going to happen. And it was like, wow. You know, it was, like I said, it felt like God had died in my life. So then that's the worst, right? That was the worst. It's the worst it could possibly have gotten for me. So then you face it. You face your fear. You face your darkness. And you look at it and it's like, okay, well, that was the worst thing that could ever possibly have happened to me. And I'm still sitting here. So something's going to happen, right? I'm not going to just sit here. I continue. I'm still breathing. I'm still here. There's going to be movement again. I'm going to move forward. There's going to be a new day tomorrow. Look at how the stars are getting brighter as we look up. I hope you guys can see it like I can. Sometimes you have to be in that dark spot, you know, and face it. And once you face it, well, okay, there it is. And then maybe you have to cry it out. Maybe you have to, you know, lay in a hot bathtub with sea salts and call on all your angels. I call my mom, calling all low-flying angels. And you know what I did today? I filled up my bathtub with effervescent acacia and lavender salt. Beautiful. And I filled it up twice. And I put my head under the water all the way up to my nostrils so that the water was over my eyes, and it felt so good. And after a while, I have apps on my phone, cards, you know, like oracle cards, and I just went one by one and I did my own, I just said, what do you want to say to me? And I got some answers and my tears flowed and Spirit was telling me, we're with you. You're not alone. We love you. All the things that I got were very, very accurate for what's going on in my life. And I cried and I talked to my friend Erica. You know, her and I are both very strong people and you kind of feel like an island. People don't look at us often and think that we need any help. But both of us are single with no one around, no family. You know, she's in Wisconsin and she said, how are you doing? And I said, oh, my head's splitting and I'm hungry and I'm cold. And she said, do you have anybody there? And I said, no, I don't know anybody here. But I thought about my grandma, because effervescent, she called me that. And that was the message we got last night, right? Or today, it was today, the message, and I'm shuffling as I'm talking. The message we got from Spirit that somebody from Spirit was making their presence known and letting you know that you were loved and not alone. That was my grandma. That was who the message was for me. Because I looked at that bottle of effervescent bath salts and I remember that's what she said about me. And then it made me think of the time in my life. You know, my grandma was 98 years old and she was the rock of the family. She took care of everyone. And you know, I thought about it for the first time ever in my life. I don't think my grandma had anyone to turn to. She took care of everyone else all the time. And when I was falling apart one time in my life, I told you guys the most horrible, horrific time of my life. And I told her I just wanted to disappear. And she said, nope, you're not going to do that. We're not made that way. You got 2 kids. Pull it together. Go cry. Pull it together and move on. And I realized as I sat in my bath and Erica sat in her place, alone in the same place, that, you know, it's about taking care of yourself. And when you get run down to the point, it's because you've been giving too much of yourself and you haven't been taking care of yourself. So take care of yourself. And then rely on Spirit to bolster you and give you what you need to keep going, because they will. Right? And we do. We get the energy again. So, this message, the goddess of the shadows. So, interesting, we're talking a lot about shadow, and here we are out in the candlelight, in the dark. That's interesting. So the goddess of shadows, there she is. She's lit up on her divine masculine on top of her head. She's got her chakras all lit up. What does she have wrapped around her, though? What is that? Does it look like a tail? Let me get my magnifying glass. And, oops. No, don't go out. I don't want you to go out. I need you. I need you, candles. Okay, I want to see. I can't figure out what it is. It's like a tail of some sort. Interesting. You know what? I think I will bring a brighter candle forward, possibly. There we go. That smells amazing. Okay, so with that assistance, it's a tail. It's interesting, but I can't see of what. I can't see of what, so let's use our imagination. I don't know. You know what? Maybe it's a dark serpent. It's wrapping up around her. It's part of her. It feels like maybe it's a dark tail, but it's part of her. She's got flames that come up from below, and her chakras are all lit up, and she's got this otherworldly, kind of dark, creepy tail that comes up around her, right? And that's kind of what the message is. What you perceive to be your dark side or something creepy about you is actually your hidden treasure. So maybe you have a skewed perception of yourself, right? Your dark side. Inside the darkness, there's a treasure, Spirit is saying. We rarely, we aren't able to see the entire picture in any situation, are we? I mean, we have our perception of the way we look at things, and other people have a perception of the way they see it. And we judge, right? We judge what we think is negative and what we think is positive, right? And the aspects of ourselves that we don't like, we think are negative, right? But believing that kind of, it holds you back. It big time holds you back. You don't actually realize that every part of you, there's something wonderful in every part of you. There's a positive to every negative. I'm thinking about my grandma. You know, the reason my grandmother called me effervescent was because my mom used to say to me, you talk too much. You talk too fast. You move too fast. It wasn't just my mom, my dad. I was the only one like me in my family. Except for, I found out so many years later, my grandma. And I was sitting there with a boyfriend when I was 16. And he was older than me, probably almost 5 years older than me, and I was young. I was 16. What was I doing with a boyfriend at 16? God's sake. Thinking about that now. And I just, I don't know what I was doing. I was all excited and hyper and happy and telling some story and jumping around, and I think my mom thought I was blowing it with this guy because he was really wealthy, and she always wanted me to be taken care of by somebody, right? Because she grew up with not much money, and money was a really big deal to her. And it has never been my focus or my priority, but it has always been for my mother, and I understand that she wanted me to be taken care of, right? So here's this guy, and who knows what I was doing. I was 16. I was full of energy in life and bouncing all over the place, and my mom said to him, "Don't you just want to put a sock in her mouth?" And I was so embarrassed. I wanted to curl up and die. I thought, oh my God, I didn't know what to do. And he said, "No, why?" And she said, "Because she never shuts up. Don't you just want to put a sock in her mouth?" And he said, "No, she's like a Broadway show." He goes, "I sit back," and he goes, "and she entertains me. She's delightful." And I was like, wow, that was the coolest thing I ever had happen, ever. Except for when my grandmother said it. She did it. I don't know how old I was when the same kind of thing happened before. And it was a lot of people. I think it was probably like a family situation with all my cousins and uncles and aunts and a lot of people, and I was embarrassed in front of everybody because I think my dad just said, "Hush," and then my mom said, "You're too this and you're too that." I can't remember. And my mom was really annoyed with me because I think maybe she was embarrassed by me, and my grandmother said, "She's not too anything. She's effervescent. Some people like, coffee, and some people like tea, and some people like something with a little bit of fizz. And that's what she is. There's a place for everybody in the world." And I'm going to turn you around, talk to you, because I feel bad not talking to you. So kind of what it was the things, and my whole life, like I'd be driving along. I was in love with horses when I was a kid. Totally, I was a horsey girl. I used to wear horses on my shirt. I was in love with horses. And to relax, my dad was a really hard worker, and to relax, he wanted to go for drives, which was torture for my brother and I. We hated it because as soon as my mom and dad got into the car, they'd get into a fight constantly because my dad drove like Mr. Magoo, and my mom was always like, grabbing onto the side of the car and, "Bernie, you're not watching," or whatever. Without fail, within 10 minutes, my parents were in a fight. And then we were driving usually to Palm Springs, from Escondido, wherever it was like an hour or two away. And we were captured in the car, and it was horrible because I didn't like my brother, he didn't like me. And my mom and dad aren't speaking. No one listens to the radio in our car. And so I just looked out the window, right? And it was country where we were. So every time I would see a horse, I'd be like, "Ah," and my dad, "Sherry," and he'd look in the rearview mirror and, "Oh, hush." Can't remember, whatever it was, but it was a situation kind of like that, and so it was that situation again. And I did the same type of deal, and I got yelled at, and I was embarrassed in front of a bunch of people, and so all of these things, I react too quickly, I talk too much, I exclaim, but usually it was that I spoke too fast. You speak too fast. You move too fast. You talk too much. And so with my business, with my work that I do, I work on a psychic hotline, and I have to speak really quickly. I know I've spoken about this before, but I'm going to give you this again. And because I'm able to speak quickly and articulate very quickly, and also because my mind, I'm distracted. I'm all over the place like a squirrel, right? But now Spirit uses that because I see so many different things, and they grab my attention, and they know they'll pull my attention to something. I'll be on it. They'll give me a message. I deliver it. So all of the things that I felt were flaws, there were so many more. Things that I felt were flaws about myself have now been able to be actually used in my spiritual work to help other people. The fact that I'm have so much energy, I do a lot. I can do a lot. I can handle a lot. I go, like a Energizer bunny, right? And so it's a positive. It's going to keep me young like my grandma. My grandma lived till she was 98. I plan on outliving her. She fell and broke her hip, and that's why she went when she did. But so the things that we have, that we think are negative. I'm thinking about a hummingbird. You know, my daughter said, Mom, you're the hummingbird. And you think about a hummingbird. You don't say, hummingbird moves too fast. They fly up and down and all over and sideways, and they don't fly in a straight line like they're supposed to. Like birds are supposed to fly like this. Who says? People look at a hummingbird and they're amazed by it. So why would you look at yourself and think for moving quickly and moving around and or doing whatever it is, whatever it is that you do, that what you think is wrong. And also, like, I was embarrassed when my mom said that, right? And my boyfriend found it endearing. He loved that. Or I would say, I always felt like I had a guy's voice, you know? And I said, I sound like Marge Simpson. And somebody may like that, or you may hate the way you laugh, right? Or you may be embarrassed about the way you walk, or you may be embarrassed about, who knows, the different things that you may be embarrassed about, right? But somebody else will look at that and like the person that I have loved for so long, he's got like a little whisker when he speaks sometimes. Like, I can't explain it. It's, I call it a word whisker. I don't know what it is. And he purses his lips. He purses them up, right? But he's got really full lips, beautiful lips. And I realized, actually somebody told me years and years later, you know, that's a facial tic. And I said, what do you mean? It's called posturing. And I said, really? I thought it was just sexy. I thought it was like, God, it's so sexy. No, it's posturing. I'm like, wow. So something that you may think is awkward or uncomfortable, somebody else may look at that and think that's really sexy about you, or adorable about, you know, the way you do something that, you know, maybe you wrinkle your nose and you don't like the way you do that. Oh, why do I do that all the time? Oh, I can't stand the way I do this. But it's something special about you. I'm just giving you little examples like that. But, you know, all the cards went everywhere. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, the goddess of shadows is telling you that you need to stop beating yourself up and recognize that everything is made up of positives and negatives. And over the coming months, you're going to start realizing, you're going to start seeing the positive parts of your life. And realize that makes you, the negative and the positive coming together, that makes you who you are. And once you recognize that, you're moving on up. So over the coming months, you're going to start questioning a lot of your old belief systems. A lot of the things that maybe people have said to you about you, or what maybe you have thought about things, right? Your values. Or illusions that have kept you feeling small, or like you weren't good enough, right? This is going to be the start of a very self-empowered period of your life. And it's going to bring a lot of beautiful experiences and opportunities towards you that in the past, you never believed were possible. Because you didn't see yourself in that light. You didn't recognize that about yourself. You didn't know that that's pretty freaking amazing about me. You know what? That's amazing about me. Wow. That's super cool. You know? You're such a show-off, whoever, blah, blah, blah. You know, maybe you were told that when you were a kid. I didn't get that. But if you're such a show-off, well, maybe now you're able to stand up in front of everybody and direct courses because you have no fear of standing in front of an audience, right? Think about it. That was emphasized. So I'm going to put you down for a second while I pick up the cards that went flying all over the place. So that message was for what? Wednesday, Thursday? I don't even know what we were on. And now we do Friday, Saturday, right? Maybe something like, these things are going to come up. Maybe there's going to be something that's going to come up. You're going to be with a group of people, and you're going to be in a place, and you notice how I almost said they're going to make you feel? Nobody makes you feel anything. You feel that way about yourself. So it's you that has to start recognizing your worth, your own self-worth, right? So maybe what's going to happen on Tuesday, Wednesday, or what is it, Wednesday, Thursday, is maybe you're going to be in a family situation. And in that family situation, normally, something would have been said about the way that you normally do things. Maybe that's just something that always happens. And now you're going to maybe start to look at yourself in a different light. Actually, you know what? Pay attention to other people. Watch people. And you know what's interesting? We're so worried about ourselves, we don't realize that everybody feels the same way. Nobody's actually pinpointing and looking at you so much. They're worried about themselves. And when people say negative things to you about yourself, it's actually a real, it's a lack of, what is the word? Security in themselves. It's their own insecurity. Because people don't say unkind things to others when they're secure in their own self. They feel somehow it makes them feel mistakenly better to make someone else feel as low as maybe they feel truly inside. So you can almost look at that with compassion. You know, people that brag, just endlessly brag, they're so insecure. You don't have to brag if you're secure, right? And people that are really, really jealous, they're jealous because they're so insecure. It's their insecurity. It's not you that has the problem. It's them. Oh, a bug landed in. I'm sorry. Damn it. Landed in the wax. That makes me sad. Okay. Sorry, buddy. All right, now I've got wax on my fingers. Hold on. These candles are a bomb. I don't know what this one is, but damn. What is this? Lavender and cedarwood. See, what's interesting is I've got a lot of scented candles out here actually, and that's a form of self-love for me. Makes me feel better, right? To have a beautiful scent. And the soft lighting is beautiful, isn't it? All right, so for Friday, Saturday, what do you want us to know? Oh my goodness, sorry. I still have about half the cards on the ground. I felt like the deck felt suspiciously thin. I hope you guys aren't, bummed out that I'm doing the reading in the dark, and that the cards are a little bit different this time as well, but there's a lot of introspection that's going on right now around full moon time, So I love the sound of my wooden Buddha up there. Okay. Friday, Saturday. Oh, you're going to like this one. Yay! This is the Angel of Finances. Honor and give thanks for the blessings that you are about to receive. So, if you've been going through a difficult time financially, if you've been stressed out, if you've been worried, I know it's getting kind of dark. The cards are kind of dark as well, but that's okay. You can just listen. Listen to the sounds of the wooden wind chimes and to what spirit drops down for me. So, you give thanks ahead of time, before it happens. That's the power of manifestation. Thank you for the financial abundance that is flowing to me smoothly and steadily. Thank you for taking care of my financial needs. Thank you for taking care of the worry that I have had. Because you look at her eyes, and maybe she's got eyes that are full of tears. They're sparkling. But we'll take it that way first. Eyes full of tears. I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills. I've been trying to get a job. Things have been really slow at work. And then all of a sudden your eyes are sparkling because, oh my gosh, your finances are about to take a turn for the better. You're about to receive a substantial amount of money, or maybe a stream of money that's going to start entering your life, like steadily. Maybe it's just going to start, every day. It's just going to start coming in now. And it's because of your strong faith in spirit that this is going to happen for you. Your commitment to your purpose, whatever your purpose is. And the Angel of Finance is here to tell you that your wealth has a lot to do. It's not so much about the external. It's what's going on inside your mind. What you think about, you bring about. See yourself in inflow of abundance, and the universe takes care of me, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to allow the universe to help me because I know they've got my back. And it's kind of like you have to have that mindset. Money comes to me easily. I've always said that. I'm always taking care of money. My dad, that was something my dad taught us, taught me anyway, as a kid. My mom was always so worried about money. Isn't that funny? My dad was very wealthy. He always had money, but she was always scared that it wasn't, when things would get slow, he'd come home from work, and I'm sure he would say to her, man, haven't had a call in 3 days. And she would just panic, go into a total tailspin, and he didn't think anything of it. He just, said he was just talking off the top of his head. And then he'd go to work the next day, and he'd have like 5 engine orders, thousands of dollars coming in. And he would say, hon, he didn't realize for the longest time what he was doing to her, because she had come from a family where there was no money, and they always worried, right? And so that was her fear. And so she was focused on money because she never had it. And he always would say, hon, money comes and money goes, but it's always going to come. It's a cycle. It's going to come. You can either see the world as lacking and everything going wrong, or you can see it as it's abundant for me, and I'm taken care of, right? Money is energy, and we need energy in this world in the form of money to survive, because that's what we do. We don't have a barter system right now. We have cash, right? We have bills that have to be paid. The IRS doesn't care if you've got crops. They want to see the money, right? So it's an energy, and it's exchange. So it's about how you view it. If you hold on to it tightly and you penny pinch, you're going to have difficulty with money. You need to keep the energy flowing. It's like the energy in your house. You got to keep, the fans going and doors open and fresh air come in, move things around. If you leave everything as it is, stays, stagnant in the same space, never move anything, things stop moving, stop flowing. Same thing in relationships. If you do the same thing over and over, never try anything new, everything different. Even in sex, same sexual position over and over, you're going to pretty much have a dead sex life, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. There's got to be something new constantly. You've got to be constantly reaching, even spiritually, we've got to constantly be reaching for something bigger, right? So you constantly have to be energetically moving things around. I give my clients a tip. If you don't have a lot of money and it's not moving, go to the bank itself, withdraw $100, $50, whatever you can get out in cash, get it in ones, and then go to the instant teller and put it in one at a time, because it shows you see yourself withdrawing money from your account and money being put in the account. It's an energy. It happens. It works. I've done it myself. And as I said, you give honor and blessings now. Thank you. Thank you for what is on its way to me at this moment. And when you get the money, be careful about what you do with it. Spend it wisely, right? In ways that help not only yourself but others. Because when you do that, when you put the focus on helping others, and in the long term, Spirit blesses that even more. So that's that message. So something's going to come through on the weekend for people who have been struggling or worrying about money. All right. And no, not every single message applies to you. It may be you or someone in your life. And it doesn't matter if that, you still have to follow those principles. Those principles are still what Spirit wants you to pay attention to. Give thanks before things come. Energetically keep things in a positive direction. Keep them flowing. Don't be a penny pincher. Don't waste your money either. Don't throw money away and not save for a rainy day at all, and then wonder where your money went, because you have to buy all the, put your priorities in order, right? You don't have to have all the latest shoes. You don't have to have, every single color of sweatpants in that style. You don't have to have everything. Ask yourself, why is it that you need to have all those things? What is the hole that you're trying to fill, right? Think about it. It's not about stuff. I asked my twin what were the 3 most important things to him, and he said money. No, he didn't. I'm laughing. He said family, love, and health. Family, love, and health. Those are the 3 most important things to him. I love that. Now, what did I say? I said animals, music, and nature. I removed everybody. Animals, no. What did I say? Oh, no, I didn't. I said music, nature, and love. That's what I said. Music, nature, and love. Music, nature, and love. I figured love incorporated everything. But music and nature are absolutely highest on my priority. And when you ask yourself that, what are the 3 most important things to you? Shows you where you should be. Shows you what you should be doing. And it shows you what's, you know what I mean? Nature, music, and love. So clearly nature is something that is a priority for me. I must be in nature or around nature. I must have music in my life. That came up to me when I was in the bathtub today. That's one of the messages Spirit gave me, is that I needed to get the music back in my life. That there was something that my soul was missing, and it was true. I miss the music. That's the one thing in Wisconsin. All my friends are musical, and I miss the music. I need to get involved in that again somehow. So you ask yourself, what are the 3 most important things to you? And make sure that those 3 most important things are getting your attention, right? Because those may be the 3 most important things to you, but if you're a workaholic, you're not putting your priority on those things. Here's our overall card. Angel of communication. So here you see this angel, and she is bright, and it looks like water bursting from her, like a big sprinkler, right? Communicate clearly and don't be afraid to tell it like it is. A lot of times people are afraid to speak. They might say the wrong thing. As I said at the beginning, are they going to think I'm a bully? Are they going to think I'm bossy? Are they going to think I'm, everybody's always worried about what everybody else thinks. But right now, they're telling you that you need to communicate. This has been a theme for us for quite a while. The angel of communication coming forward. Again, I can't stress enough to you that you need to communicate. Don't be afraid to say what you need to say. What? Because one of your major, whoever this will spark, you'll get a chill or a spark when this one comes up, if this is your card. One of your major lessons is to learn how to communicate what you really clearly want. And that's probably all of us. A lot of us have a hard time asking for what we truly want, right? You might assume that the people around you know. I was speaking to somebody about this. Actually, I think it might have been one of my clients. He knows me. He should know what I want. And I said, don't say that. Don't assume that he should know. He can't read your mind because he looks at things in his through his perception, his lens, right? You look at the things through your lens. You have grown up in completely different lives, completely different households. You're a female, he's a male. The way you look at it is not the way he looks at it. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Yeah, different, right? No matter it's that's what brings out the challenges and what brings out the blessings is the differences. If we were all the same, life would be so boring. But don't assume the people around you know how you feel or what you need. And actually what they're telling you right now is the truth is they don't know what you're feeling. There's probably a lot of us right now that don't know what the hell's going on. We don't know what the other one is saying, feeling inside. And because of the failure to communicate honestly and clearly, the ones around you end up confused, or at best, they have to assume, and then they make mistakes, and then you're mad, or they get it wrong. And then then it gets even bigger, like misunderstanding, right? So don't be afraid to say it the way it is. You can't lose anything by speaking the truth when it comes from a place of love, right? You don't need to blame or accuse anybody in order to speak what it is that's on your heart. You just need to state your case clearly so that they know where they stand and they know what you want. And oftentimes it's, you're thinking, oh, I don't want to say it, And then you say it and they're like, really? Wow, I wish you had told me that. We could have taken care of that months ago. And you're like, what? Yeah. Why would you think that's such a big deal? Because in your mind, you see things this way. They don't. And you're thinking, no, I know them. If I say this, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You need to speak your truth. You need to state your case. Everybody has things change in their life, right? We all are growing. We're all learning, changing. And maybe a couple of months ago, they would have thought what you think. That maybe now they don't think that. Maybe now they're not the same person they were. Maybe you're looking at them and you're thinking, I know who they are. I know how they would feel about this. This is who they are. But they're not that same person now. You don't know. You don't know until you state your case and speak your truth. And allow them to speak theirs. Right? So now I'm going to ask if there's anything else that you would like to share with us, that you would like to put our focus on. Starting to get a little chilly out here. Correct for neutrality on all levels. What is the most important overall message for everyone? I'm glad I did this outside here today. I probably would have gotten so tired inside. And actually the cool on me with my warm sweater and the fresh air, it's helping my headache. I still have a headache, but it's helping me, you know? All right, the last message. God of reflections. I'm trying to get this to balance. Okay. God of reflections. There's a lot of deep thinking tonight, isn't there, going on? Okay. So the God of reflections is saying that the qualities you see in others are simply your own reflection. This is true. I was talking to my girlfriend Erica. I told you when I was floating in the tub. We were texting back and forth. And we were speaking about another friend of ours. And, calling about this or that or the other. And I said, Spirit told me a while back that even if somebody was talking to me about something that I found incredibly boring, it just wasn't my scene, it wasn't something that I was interested in, to listen. Because there was something that they were saying, there's a message that my higher self was going to pick up. It may not have been about what they were talking about, but what was coming out of their mouth, there was a message for me. Also, most people in your life that are close to you are mirrors of your life. People don't realize that. It helps me a lot when I work with clients and I know about their family or the things that are going on, because often, like say your pets, they are a reflection of someone in your life. The closest people to you, you watch the way your pets interact with one another, and that will most likely be you and your partner or your children. You'll see it. And then there's mirrors. There's a lot of mirrors in your life. Watch the people around you and the situations. They are being reflections of you. So the qualities that you see in others, the things that you like about other people, you like those things because those are reflections that you have. You don't see it in you. You're looking at them thinking, wow. I get this a lot working with love relationships, how men and women put each other on pedestals. And I said, you spend so much time thinking that person is the shit. And you don't realize that they're looking at you and they realize that you're the shit too. Sometimes they don't tell you. But why do you think you're drawn to each other? You're mirrors of one another. Right? You're giving your power away because you're not recognizing these amazing qualities that you possess. You are just giving all of the attention to the other person, not realizing, wow, the reason that person is in my life and the reason that person and I are drawn to one another is because we mirror each other. And you got to think about that in a kind of a funny way, because it's like we like what we see about ourselves in another. It's just what it is. We don't like what we see in another, and it's usually something we don't like about ourselves. It's the same thing. So when somebody does something and you don't like it, and it really, really irks you, you got to look at yourself, because there's an aspect of yourself that needs to be worked on in that particular case, right? A lot of times you believe falsely that others are better than you in some way. Oh, well, that person's, got a master's degree and they're this and that. Like my girlfriend Erica, she's an artist and she's a writer. She's so I look at her and as far as business, this woman is just, oh my God, you want to talk about a mad manifester. Oh my God. She's amazing. And she always says to me, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to help people? And I said, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? You help people just by being you. You are such an example. I look to you and I think, God, man, she manifests everything she sets her mind to. You're such an example of how to manifest. There's so many things that and she's an artist and she writes and she creates. And yet she doesn't know if she's doing, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? You're doing what you're supposed to be doing just by breathing, because you don't see how people come to you because you're so strong, right? You hold it together. Whatever it is that you have. Maybe you're a person that's just, you're thinking, I don't have a lot of strength. I'm very emotional and, I'm shy and I can't stand up in front of people and talk, and I don't have the right words. But you've got the most loving, gentle energy, like my twin. So loving, so gentle. You feel at such peace in his energy. Children and animals would just love him, right? He's shy, he's quiet. Very, very powerful too, but it's the gentle, shy, sweet love energy that emanates from him that I loved, right? But he may look at himself and not think that he doesn't stand out like maybe his brother who's an actor, or someone else who knows. And yet a lot of times people don't realize that those other people that you're looking at, you think they're so much better, they're so insecure, right? And they're looking at you, and a lot of times the ones that are the quiet, strong, steady, always there, when everyone else is flashy and has the big name, but when you disappear all of a sudden, I thought about that today. What would happen if you just disappeared? Who would miss you? Who would look for you? And what part of that family or group what part of that, what light would go out when you disappeared? Often people don't realize what a light they are and what a light they have. I can tell you 3.5 years later, I miss that light that disappeared from my life every single day. No one else has been able to fill that spot. It's a very, very, very bright light, even from far away. That matters. You got to think about things like that, And you got to think about also, who are the ones that don't forget about you when you're gone? Who calls you? Because you are a reflection. If people aren't giving you attention, are you giving them attention? They're a reflection of you, right? No one's reaching out to me. Nobody noticed that I disappeared. Well, did you reach out to them? Are you the one, you got to look at it. You're a mirror. Everything that happens, you're a mirror. But mostly I think that people don't realize how much they're missed when they're gone. There's a song by Linkin Park. I think it was the last song he wrote before he committed suicide. And he said, "Who would care if one more light goes out? I do," he said. And then the suicide happened. Every time I hear that song, I sing, "I do. I care. I care." It's like, who cares if one more animal species goes extinct? I do. I do. Who cares that little bug landed in that wax? I do. Every life matters. Your life matters. Right? So from now on, every time you see beauty in someone else, or you look at somebody else and wish that you could be like that, I want you to remind yourself of your own beauty, the qualities that you have. And when you look at that person and you think, that's so amazing, look in the mirror and see, why are you recognizing that in them? Right? As your perceptions come back more into balance and you become more aware of the truth of the situation, then you become a more effective force in the world. And you have more of an impact because you now know what you possess and how you can affect change and how you can help others. Because there's always going to be somebody that feels the way you have felt, right? And now you can turn around and say, wow, I used to feel this way too. Somebody posted an article today and I shared it, and it was a picture of a heavy woman and her husband, and they were going to have sex, and he was pulling off her dress, and she put her head down to the side. And the question was, men don't understand, why do you look away or why do you look down? And because she doesn't want to look, she doesn't want to see in your eyes the reflection of disappointment, because she feels like she's fat, or she feels like her body's not strong enough or firm enough or young enough. She looks away because she's lacking insecurity, and she couldn't bear to think that the one that she loves so much would be disappointed in her. And I found myself crying, and I understand that feeling. I've hidden my body
I've looked away. We're all aging. We're all going to get old. Our bodies are all going to start to get wrinkles and sag and not be young the way we used to be. You know, 3.5 years ago, I had a dream when my twin came back. I saw them come back and we were walking hand in hand through the Rainforest Cafe. I don't know where we were, but that's where we were. And I remembered thinking, and this is funny because this is the way I was thinking at that time. I remembered thinking he was so beautiful. And as we walked, I walked with my head down. I felt very insecure. I didn't feel as beautiful as he was. I didn't feel that I was worthy. I don't feel that way now. I know my self-worth, but I did feel that way then. And so when I read that message today, that post, I shared it and I cried and I said, I know that feeling. We want to look our best. We want people to, not necessarily just about looks either. We want people to see the best in us. We don't want them to see our flaws. And so what the article suggested was if you don't understand that that's the way your wife, why she does that, that is why she's doing it. She doesn't want you to be disappointed. So that's when you grab her close very gently and you kiss her on the forehead and you forget sex for the night. And you just hold her and you tell her, I love you. You are precious to me. And you know, you do that to a man too. I did that with my twin the last time I was with him. I kissed him on the forehead and rubbed my fingers across his beautiful eyebrows and pushed his hair back. And he said, my hair's a mess. He had long, beautiful hair. And he said he'd been working. It was in a knot. And he said, my hair's a mess. And I said, I love your hair. It was, to me, he was beautiful. He came in his work boots and his work clothes. He'd been working with his brother and he felt like he looked a mess. And I'd never seen anybody more beautiful in my life. And I kissed him on the forehead, and that's what it was to me. It was precious. So, by acknowledging the beauty in yourself and the preciousness in yourself, you will be able to acknowledge the beautiful qualities in others. And by acknowledging your own beauty and your own amazing abilities, the light that you have, because we all have it, you will begin to open doors to endless blessings and abundances and opportunities that you have pushed away because you have felt so unworthy. Because nobody is more worthy than you. Nobody. And with that, I'm going to call it a night. And it's been a very emotional, reflective, introspective reading, hasn't it? And I hope you don't mind the bare face. No, I don't. This is new for me. I've never done this before. Go public bald-faced. So, that's it. I do want to say quickly that I appreciate you guys. You know, I do. I love my soul family. I come to you guys when I'm sad and down. I know that I can count on you. You always build me up. And we're all part of one collective, you know, and coming together. There's a lot of us that get to places where we feel like we don't have anybody. And we're spread out all over the world, and some people don't have family near. And when we can reach out to our soul family and get support, it's pretty magical, because we are all connected. We are all connected. We're all one family, you know, and we have to recognize that we all matter. And it's important to connect. It's not good to isolate. It's good to connect with people, you know, and let them know that they're appreciated. I'm going to ask for one quick question. I'm just going to say, just one real quick. I know we're at an hour, and I got to get this uploaded, but I just kind of felt like, I'm wondering why everything is so, I mean, I don't know. Isn't it interesting that every single card is very, very deep and thought-provoking, you know? When I'm outside during the day, it's fun and light, and there's funny stuff, but I don't know. This is just kind of maybe that's just the season. Cooler season, deeper thoughts. I like this. Goddess of the sacred path. Let go of logic and trust your intuition. Sometimes we think that things have to be a certain way, right? Well, this is the way a relationship is supposed to look. This is the way a business plan goes this way. This is how somebody is you know, if you're going to be an intuitive reader, you don't do things like this. You don't sit here in your sweatpants with candles that you can hardly see the cards and no makeup on and in such an informal setting. And it should be done, you know, there is no special way anything should be done. And it's in every instance in your life, it's time right now to let go of what is logical.
A lot of times we think that things can't happen because we don't see how it's going to happen. But look at the magic. Look at the magic that's happening. Spirit has no walls. Spirit has no boundaries. We don't even have the boundaries that we think we do. Right? So, what would you truly love to do or have or be or experience in your lifetime? And just imagine what it would be. If you could do anything, what would it be? And it's not about what your head tells you. You got to really think, what do I love? What are the 3 things that you love most? What are the 3 most important things to you? How does that affect my world? How does it affect my work? It should. Your passion is where you should be, what you should do, how you should act. Right? Look into your heart. Your heart knows the truth of who you are, what your soul is trying to tell you. And your mind is trying to tell you something different. Usually it's because of belief systems, the way you've grown up, what people have told you, or what you've based on fear of past rejections, or how things went sideways, or it has never worked before, or whatever that your mind's trying to tell you, right? Anything is possible when you allow the universe to bring you your wildest dreams. In my wildest dreams, this is what I would have. Trust your feelings. Start keeping a journal possibly about what you would do and how would you express yourself. Don't hold back either. If you want to have hot sex and you haven't been having it, I want that. I want something creative and fun and unique and different. Or maybe, who knows what it is for you. I said that because people don't want to talk about it. So I said it. So talk about the things that maybe you don't think you should talk about. Maybe, that's one of the things that you don't want to say to your wife or to your husband, because they're going to look down at you, or they're going to think you're dirty, or they're going to think, you're all about sex all the time. No, but it's important. It is a very important aspect of our lives, right? A lot of times people think that about me. She's a spiritual teacher. She must be really goody two-shoes, right? You don't know me. Trust your feelings. Do this in a loving, honest way, and Spirit will guide you on the path that you're meant to go. Whatever it is, let go of what you think has to be a certain way, and it has to plan out and show up a certain way, or whatever it is. Look, there's spirals, and there's sparks, and there's fire, and there's a million different ways to do things, and there's a million different ways to see things. So many different perspectives, so many different viewpoints. Maybe you don't even know yourself. Ask yourself. All right, on that note, I'm going to say goodnight. I hope you guys have a beautiful night. Let's go see if we can see the moon. See if it's peeked out. It'll be over here if it is. It's awfully dark. Where are you? Wow. Why is it not up yet? I wonder if I can make it across here. You guys always coming with me. I don't know if I can see it around here either. Why is it so dark? Nope. Are you up there? Where's the moon? Maybe it's just not up yet because I started this really. I started it late for the reading, but maybe it's too early in the night for the moon to come up. That's a bummer because it would have been fun to see it. It was very beautiful the other night. Deep breath. All right, you guys, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful night and sweet dreams. And maybe there's a lot going to be going on in your mind. If you get this reading tonight, maybe you'll have some things to think about when you go to bed. All right? Peace, love, and light.